the tense standoff overseas, President Biden with a new warning saying there could be sanctions if Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine, and a new shipment of American weapons to beef up the Ukrainian military arriving as Russian troops mass at the border. Our senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Ukraine with the latest.
This morning, tension in Ukraine over fears of a Russian invasion as America ships more anti-tank missiles, rockets, grenade launchers and ammunition. With 8,500 American troops on high alert, President Biden now saying that they could be deployed to Europe sooner rather than later.
I may be moving some of those troops in the nearer term just because it takes time. And again, it's not provocative.
Biden even suggesting sanctioning Putin himself. The Kremlin accusing America and NATO of hysteria. And this morning, warning Russia will respond to any actions by the West. The Biden administration insisting Russia could attack at any time. But despite more than 100,000 troops massed at the border, the Ukrainian foreign minister telling ABC News this morning that for now, that is insufficient for a full-scale invasion.
What we currently see is a scenario of destabilization of Ukraine. And that scenario is certainly imminent. It's already taking place.
These new images, a show of force from the Russian military, conducting drills that include infantry units, as well as mobile tactical missile launchers. But speaking exclusively with ABC News, the U.S. acting ambassador to Ukraine, Christina Kavin, insisting the Ukrainian army is ready.
The Ukrainians are ready and capable of defending their country, and we will be there to help them.
And Ian Pannell is joining me now live from Ukraine. Ian, Ukrainian officials downplaying this Russian presence on the border. What do you think? Is the U.S. overreacting?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. It's one that I put to the Ukrainian foreign minister. I mean, on one level, he says there is no sliver of light between us and the U.S. administration, and that we both agree, we both see the threat, we both are concerned about what Russia is up to. But I pressed him on that and said, well, look, the White House is saying, and we heard this in the last 24 hours from Jen Psaki, is saying that Russian troops could launch attack at any time. That isn't what the Ukrainian officials are saying. What they're saying is that more needs to be put into place in order to allow the Russian military to be able to launch an attack. We should keep stressing that the Kremlin has consistently denied that it intends to launch any kind of attack, any kind of invasion. So there is a difference there in terms of their analysis, and given that they're both looking at the same intelligence, I think it also reflects a difference of perspective. What you don't get here in Kiev is any sense of panic, any widespread sense of even pressing concern that this kind of action, this kind of military action could happen. But what Ukrainians will also tell you is Russia's already invaded. It invaded in 2014 when it annexed Crimea. It invaded when it backed separatists in the east of the country, in the Donbass region, to essentially launch this uprising and take over parts of the east. So they think this is an ongoing struggle against the Russians. This is part of it. They're seeing a campaign of intimidation. And they also believe that what the Kremlin is really planning is to try and unsettle Ukraine, to try and sow disunity, to try and create panic in the country. Cyber attacks, those kinds of things we've seen in the past, but they're going to try and do more than that. The truth is, the only person who really knows what the Kremlin's planning is Vladimir Putin. And of course, for now, he's not telling us.
And getting inside that head is quite a feat. You know, what would sanctions look like on Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting idea. And interestingly, the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Senate Foreign Affairs Committee, raised this idea in proposed legislation that could be enacted very swiftly, because the White House has already signaled that it would agree to it in the event of a Russian invasion. And that could see sanctions directed at Vladimir Putin himself, as well as his inner circle and the so-called oligarchs. That would be damaging, it would be taken personally, and you would expect the Kremlin to respond. Kira?
All right, we will follow it along with you. Ian, thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.